Hi, everyone. Welcome to a brand new episode of Not Aspirational. Welcome back. I'm your host, Hannah Aaron Brown. How's it going, everyone? I'm so happy to be back in town. I'm so happy to be home from my travels and be able to reconnect with you all. I hope y'all are having a great week so far. I had such a great trip. It was so fun, but also, God, I'm happy to be home. You know what I'm realizing the older I get? And this is something like I think I should maybe actively work on, maybe. But I don't know. Then also part of me is like, I have so much Virgo and Capricorn in my chart. Maybe this just is what it is. Anyways, a long-winded way of getting into this. I'm realizing that the older I get, the more I'm like, my friend actually, shout out to my friend Kaylee, she said this. She's like, I'm a delicate orchid who like, I need sunlight and I need specific things. And that's how I feel. It's like I'm a delicate houseplant where like, if I'm not in my routines for too long, I start to wilt and I get upset. And so it's like, there's multiple layers to this where on one hand I'm like, oh my God, I'm so grateful that I got to go on this trip and see so many amazing people in my life and spend all this quality time together and go like show Jake ISU and go to nice dinners and like there was so much goodness. And then also by the end I was like a total husk and I was like, okay, I have been eating and drinking like a fraternity brother for 10 days and I need to get home and get back into the groove of things. And both are beautiful in their own special ways. And all that said, I'm happy to be back home in my own bed, getting shit done. Because also, I mean, like, there is no Sunday scaries quite like the Sunday scaries that hit after being out of office for like a long time, where you're like, oh my God, the laundry I have to do and the life things I have to get done on top of having to get caught up with work. It's like, so anyways, happy to be back, but it was seriously a really amazing trip. So here was the order of events. We started in Kansas City for the 4th, stayed there for a handful of days, visited with Jake's family, lovely as always, drove up through from Kansas to Chicago and passed through Bloomington, Normal, Illinois, where ISU is. So we took like a long lunch break and I took Jake on a walking tour of ISU, showed him all the haunts, bars that I used to go to where I was in love with the door guy, the apartment that door guy lived in that I could see from my apartment. And when he stopped wanting to hook up with me, I could see when his truck was gone in the morning and I'd be like, who did he hook up with last night? My old apartment where the theater building once was, because it did get knocked down because it was covered in asbestos for many years. I mean, all of the beautiful places that I used to go. And then we went to Chicago for like a little over 24 hours and spent some great time with my dad and his girlfriend, and we saw their new place, and we went to Maple and Ash where we balled out as a family with my dad, his girlfriend, and then my sister and my brother-in-law. And we drank enough for a football team and ate so much good food. I had swordfish that like blew my mind, and I was pretty drunk by the time it came, but no regrets. Everything was so insanely good. And then we went to Lake Geneva for a few days with my college friends, and it was really, really special to have quality time with them and their husbands and kids. And it was great. I hope y'all had a great 4th of July and that you're having a good summer. I just want to catch up on pop culture stuff today because I feel like so much happened while I was gone. And you might be like, Hannah, we are done with the Taylor Swift wedding. But like, I have not gotten to talk about it with y'all. And it is actually that serious to me. And you might not like what I have to say depending on if you're a Swiftie or not. But we're going to get to that in a second. First of all, other things going on pop culture wise. Hilary Duff did a collab with Bath and Body Works, which I just think is the most genius branding and marketing of all time. And I just love, I've said this before, I'm a marketer's dream. I love good marketing that just turns me on and makes me feel like I'm excited about the product and I'm like in on the joke or I'm in on the concept and it resonates with me. And I just felt like Bath and Body Works, which is such like a millennial touchstone, partnering with Hilary Duff, who is a millennial touchstone, and like I love them both. Them partnering together was incredible. She did this like fruit line with them, like this fruit collab, and or I don't know if it was a collab or if she was just in the ad for it, but it was to the song Tempted by the Fruit of Another, and she looked so hot in like a white tank and little like booty shorts, and she was all wet and like rolling around, and it was like so freaking cute. And then there were all these people in the comments being like, wow, Hilary Duff, I can't believe you would partner with Bath and Body Works because their candles are filled with sulfates and they're not clean. And I was like, can you grow the fuck up and like remove the stick promptly from your butt? Because like we're having fun here, okay? You don't need to buy Bath and Body Works candles. I think about this all the time on TikTok when people respond to my videos and they're like, actually, I disagree. I think the shoes you recommended are ugly. It's like, no one is putting a pew-pew to your fucking head, okay? You don't have to buy it. Or some people will be in my comments and be like, I think that what you said is stupid. And I've just started responding to me like, then don't watch my videos. Like, it reminds me of that Shailene Woodley interview where, I don't know if y'all are familiar, but there is a Shailene Woodley interview where she is honestly, respectfully, like a huge fucking bitch to the interviewer. Like, she's just not vibing with her at all. And the interviewer tries to make this like Hunger Games pun that's like pretty cringe, where she's like, I don't know, I'm feeling pretty hungry right now. And Shailene Woodley goes, well, you should probably go eat. And that's how I've gotten in my TikTok comments. I've gotten to a place of Shailene Woodley, you should probably go eat, because like it is like some people are just so fucking stupid where it's like, if you think the shoes I recommended are ugly, then don't buy them. If you don't like how Bath and Body Works makes their products, then don't buy them. But then don't shame Hilary Duff for doing a very cute, cheeky ad with Bath and Body Works that I thought was adorable and fun. And as a millennial, like warmed my millennial heart. Like, ugh, grow up. But I thought it was a great ad. Also, Indy Neveretti, who starred in Obsession. My obsession is Indy Neveretti right now. I think her style is killer. I think she is so gorgeous. I think she is so talented. And I was incredibly moved because she just went to Paris for her first fashion week. And In Style like made some content with her. And she looked so stunning in this video. And she was seeing the Eiffel Tower for the first time. And she was crying, or she was like trying not to cry, but she was like clearly so excited. And she was like, wow, that's the Eiffel Tower. And you could see it like hitting her that she was a young star who was flown to Paris for Paris Fashion Week, seeing the Eiffel Tower. She's like, I've never been to Europe before. And she was like, I'm trying to play it cool right now, but if you guys weren't here, I would definitely be crying. And I was just like, I am such a proponent for chalance. I think nonchalance is for losers, to be honest. I think being excited and grateful is like the most magnetic, sexy energy in the world. And I've said it before, and I will beat that drum until I die. Especially living in LA, there's so many people. God, I used to like run around with people who like were so concerned with like being cool, and they were like never silly, and they took themselves and everything like so seriously, and it like literally made me want to die and made me feel like a loser. And now I'm very resolute in the fact that like excited energy and authentic bubbly energy and people who are like thrilled about life and grateful, like that energy just like turns me on. And so to see Indy Neveretti, to see this like beautiful fresh face who is not a Nepo baby, who didn't come from, you know, a family of bajillionaires, who has never been to Europe, cry because she's looking at the Eiffel Tower for the first time, it like really, it just warmed my heart, and it gave me so much hope for this like era of entertainment that we're in, because I think more and more we're seeing data stack up, and I hope the execs at these fucking production companies and studios are seeing this data stacking up where it's like, we are hungry for fresh faces. We are hungry to see new people, quote, make it. Like I said this about the Heated Rivalry boys, like back in the winter, like there's just nothing more thrilling as either a normie or someone in the industry. Like I think just as humans, there's nothing more thrilling than watching a young, fresh, talented face come out of nowhere and make it. Like I just think it's so, so inspiring. So shout out to Indy Neveretti. I love her, love her, love her. Also, The Odyssey is about to come out. And I talked shit about The Odyssey either last week or 2 weeks ago. I honestly can't remember, but it comes out this weekend. And I just want to say something that might be polarizing, okay? But I do just like, and I hope I didn't already say this. I'm sorry, y'all. Sometimes I do have thoughts that just like, they like loop in my brain, and sometimes like I tell multiple people that thought because I want to hear their perspectives on it, and then I'm like, did I tell you guys? Did I tell Jake? Did I tell my friends? Which friends did I tell? Whatever. I just look at the cast of The Odyssey, and it's like you can see the execs like thought process of being like, these are the buzziest actors that we could get. Like these are the hottest actors of this year of our Lord 2026 or like 2025, whenever the fuck they shot this thing. It's like Anne Hathaway, Zendaya, Tom Holland, Matt Damon. I was about to say Matt Dillon. Matt Damon. And it's like, all those actors are great. I love them all. Like especially Zendaya and Tom Holland. Like I have a very special soft spot in my heart for those two. I love them. I think they're gorgeous and talented, and I love their love. But I do just want to tell the execs, like, you know, there's like other people that you could hire, right? Like, there are other people other than those actors. And like Anne Hathaway and Zendaya have been in like every other movie for the last like 6 years, it feels like. And I love them. It's nothing against them. Okay. So I want people in my reviews being like, wow, you hate women. I'm just saying there are other actors and I would like to see them moving right along. And you know what? We're manifesting. I would like to be one of them. Okay. I do have skin in the game, which brings us to, okay, segue. Okay. I'm a professional. Emmy nominations came out, and here are my headline thoughts. First of all, why in the ever-loving fuck was season 2 of Nobody Wants This nominated? Okay, now, like, let's go back in time. I remember when Nobody Wants This was being developed, and I was listening to Aaron and Sarah Foster's podcast, World's First Podcast, and they were talking about the show called Shiksa that they were working on, but then Shiksa was too Jewish, so they had to change the title to Nobody Wants This to get people to watch it, which is, I could do another episode on that, but I'm really not in the fucking mood right now because anti-Semitism is running rampant. Anyways, I was obsessed. I was like, oh my God, I want to be on this show. Oh my God. And I like went to an event and like pitched myself to Aaron and like literally got an audition that way and got to audition for the role of Adam Brody's ex-girlfriend in season 1. And it was like a big deal and I was so excited. Obviously I didn't get it. I knew I wasn't going to, but it was still like a moment. Season 1 comes out. I'm like, wait, this show is fucking awesome. I have friends who are in it, like industry friends. I'm devastated. I'm not in it, but like very, very cool. Okay. Then I hear they're getting a season 2. I'm like, oh, sweet. I could audition for a season 2, maybe a smaller role. No. Season 1 was such a hit that by the time season 2 was being cast, it was like already cast in like 2 seconds. Like they churned that shit out. Okay. They were like, Jenny Connor, you're in. Let's get all these people in it. They like barely had auditions for season 2, to my knowledge. Like it was a lot of like, let's cast our friends, because like when a show does well, famous people will be like, wait, I want in on that. Like, look at The Bear. Like, season 1 wasn't all well-known people. By season 3, it was like Jamie Lee Curtis. Like, it was like everyone wanted to be in The Bear, okay? So, this is Hannah's entertainment industry podcast. So, they did season 2 really fast. It comes out. I'm thinking, great, what's in store for season 2? Y'all, it was season 1 again. I felt like I was taking crazy pills. I was like, wait, we already had this exact same storyline in season 1. Like, what actually changed from season 1 to 2? Like down to the way that it ended, where it's like, are they going to be together? They might not be. No, they will. I was like, what story arc did we experience between seasons 1 and 2? And then it gets Emmy nominated. Like, are you fucking kidding me? Okay, moving along. The Pit is sweeping in the actor categories. And while I'm not a Pit girl, which I know a lot of people will take issue with, I don't like a procedural. I don't like how they look. I'm sorry. I don't want to like be in the world of like a cool, like a coldly lit hospital with like blood and like someone's ball sack showing because it's HBO. Like, I just don't want it. Okay. But I hear it's a great show and all the actors in it are undeniably fantastic and they're sweeping, which is exciting. I'm rooting for Widow's Bay because I think Widow's Bay is one of the best new shows I've seen in a long time. It is so fun. It's so funny. Fresh faces, at least to my knowledge, some people that I'm not personally familiar with. Everyone is at the top of their fucking game. It was a fantastic show, so I'm excited to see what happens there. Also, Love Story, well, it is Ryan Murphy, who is famous for churning out high-budget slop. Constance Zimmer was so fucking good in Love Story as Carolyn Bessette Kennedy's mom. And I've been a Constance Zimmer fan for years. Yes, she was good on Entourage, but the show that really made me be like, I want to be her when I grow up was Unreal. She did such good work on Unreal, and that was just like a Lifetime show. I don't want to say it was just a Lifetime show. Like, it did well at the time, but it's just exciting to see an actor who's been doing consistently good work for years, like, get her flowers, and she was so good on that show. Now, that said, people are like, wow. Oh, by the way, also Sarah Pigeon was nominated for Love Story. Love that for her. People are like, Paul Anthony Kelly from Love Story wasn't nominated. He was snubbed. It was a snub, you guys. Paul Anthony Kelly is a very handsome man. I'm sure he's a lovely person. But if you think he should get Emmy nominated for what he did on Love Story, Carolyn, wait, Carolyn, you're wrong. I'm sorry. I want to say that these things are subjective, but when it comes to that performance, I just have to say no. And he was insulated by a lot of really great actors and scene partners who elevated his performance. But to say that Paul Anthony Kelly is like this powerhouse actor, like, I simply cannot sit here and say that that's the case because it's not how I feel. Moving right along, Ariana Madix got nominated for Love Island as outstanding host for a reality or reality competition program. And honestly, I love that for her. I've never seen someone take a scandal and spin it into gold the way she did. And I do think that hosting is really where Ariana shines the most. Now, I didn't see her performance in Chicago. I heard she was great in that. But I just think she really crushes it on Love Island. And I think that hosting is not easy at all. I actually one time, like in the pandemic, actually did like a day-long shoot where they were shooting like an example episode. I forget what the proper term for that is, but for like a game show. And I watched the host all day, and it is like, and so I was one of the contestants like in the game show, if you will. And I watched the host, and like it's just so many words to know and so much to say and a lot of energy to keep up. And like, you know, you're dealing with like normal people who aren't necessarily like in the industry, and you don't know how they're going to react, and you don't know how they're going to respond, and you have to like be quick to banter with them and like keep that energy moving and keep the pacing up. So like I really do think Ariana does such a great job on Love Island, and I would love to see her win. Also, Summer House got nominated for the Outstanding Unstructured Reality Program category, which is major. I mean, honestly, like Summer House has been on for so long, and this season was really good, and I'm happy for them. I am interested to see what this next season looks like, but I'm thrilled to hear that Kyle and Carl are going to be back, because we need a season of single Kyle and single Carl. And I think I said before, like, do I worry that Kyle will just like be riding like a steady blackout the entire time? Like, yes, but also like whatever, as long as he's not hurting himself or anyone else, put it on my TV. Moving along, there's a new docuseries out on Amazon that I'm dying to watch about Paige Neiman. If you're not familiar with Paige Neiman, she is an Ariana Grande impersonator who, like, Ariana Grande herself is like deeply darked out by. Like, she's messaged her before, I think being like, hey, like, you're really naturally beautiful, like you don't need to do all this. And Paige Neiman, like, she's just kind of like a cuckoo bird. Like, I do think it is weirdo behavior to make a living as like another person. And it's hard because it's like, sure, there are like Elvis impersonators in like Vegas, like where there's like a campiness to it. And I guess like to me, that's a different category. But like Paige Neiman, and it's just me, Ashley, or whatever her name is, who like impersonates Taylor Swift. I think it's weirdo behavior. Like to profit off of pretending to be someone else on this like grand scale on TikTok. I don't know. I just think it's a little weirdo ass, but I'm dying to see that documentary. And also like, so I tried watching it in Wisconsin when I was there with my friends, but there was like so much going on that like I didn't want to like monopolize the TV. So I didn't see much, but I will say what I saw was like very low budge and weird. And it was like, oh, like Amazon Prime didn't give Paige Neiman a documentary. She, from what I could tell, independently produced this documentary and then sold it to a streamer. And that said, it's like her trying to be like, no, I'm a normal person. But I'm like, you are sitting here in like Ariana Grande drag, like talking like this. And it's like, girl, you're not Ariana Grande. Like, stop it. So if anyone else is going to watch that, let me know. I'm dying to watch it. That's the other thing, you guys, that's so delicious about being back from a trip is you have, it's almost overwhelming, but like in a fun way. You have so much shit to catch up on, like TV wise and podcast wise, and that is incredibly exciting for me. Like, I am planning on doing nothing this weekend, not drinking, maybe until my birthday, which is July 26th, like until that weekend. No drinking, no partying, just being antisocial, getting organized, being cozy, and watching all my shows and catching up on my podcasts. Like, that's what I want to do this week and this weekend, and it's just going to be so delicious. Also, I really want to watch that new Legally Blonde like prequel show called Elle, which we also started in Wisconsin, but we didn't have time to finish. Super cute. Also, I started a show last night that is so fucking good. The 5-Star Weekend on Peacock, starring one Jennifer Garner. And then it also stars Darcy Carden, Regina Hall, Gemma Chan, and Chloe Sevigny. And then Timothy Oliphant. It is so good. Trigger warning, like it deals with grief, especially in the opening episode, but like throughout. It is so fucking good. You get house porn. You get food porn. You get friendship. You get twists and turns and scandal. Okay? This show is so good, and you can binge it on Peacock right now. Hashtag not an ad. But I started it last night, and I was so mad at myself because I fell asleep by like 9 o'clock. But oh my God, it is such a good binger. Literally, pour yourself a cup of tea, a little glass of wine, whatever you're feeling, whatever floats your boat. Take an everything shower, get cozy on the couch, and just press play. I guarantee you, you will not regret it. Another show that I'm really looking forward to is called Sterling Point. Oh my God. I have a feeling, a gut feeling, that this is going to be our next like Summer I Turn Pretty or like off campus or like heated rivalry moment. I have a feeling because, to my knowledge, it's based on a book. Let me confirm. Let me fact check. I don't want to spread misinformation. Okay, wait. It's not based on a book, but that's okay. That's okay. It is an original coming-of-age young adult drama series created by Megan Park. Now, if you don't know who Megan Park is, she wrote and directed my favorite movie, My Old Ass. Like, it's probably my favorite movie from the last, like, decade. One of them, like, top 5. So she wrote and created this show and Sterling Point. And I just think her sense of storytelling, I think the way she writes about young love, I think the way she writes about coming of age is so just like hits you in the gut, makes you feel things, makes you feel warm and fuzzy, gives you butterflies. Like, I just trust Megan Park with my fucking life. And it's being produced by Lucky Chap, which is Margot Robbie's production company, which also did My Old Ass with Megan Park. So we know already, we have data to prove that Megan Park and Lucky Chap is the dream team, in the words of Yolanda Hadid, whatever the fuck her last name is now. Also, it comes out August 5th, and I just feel like that gives like end of summer, cozy, snuggly, like back to school energy. That is like the perfect time for a gripping coming of age show to come out. I am so fucking excited. Also, if you don't know who Megan Park is, yes, she wrote and directed My Old Ass. She's a visionary. I'm dying to work with her. But she also famously was in The Secret Life of the American Teenager as a young person. And I loved that show. I rode so hard for that show. I was so in love for Ricky, even though he was toxic. It all comes back to Shailene Woodley. You should probably go eat. So she's had like quite the career, and I'm just deeply inspired by her. And I think that show's going to be fucking amazing. Okay. Now that I've been gabbing about other pop culture things for almost 25 minutes, let's get into Taylor Swift's wedding. Now, let me preface this by saying I have a multi-layered relationship with Taylor Swift. I walked down the aisle to a string version of Daylight. I looked at my Spotify, like your most played songs when that feature came out a couple months ago, and me and my friends were like laughing at how many of those songs were Taylor Swift songs. Like, there have been times in my life where Taylor Swift music has saved me. In like 2016, was it 2016 or 2017? Whenever Reputation came out, I had alienated everyone at my serving job because I was like acting really chaotic, and I did a series of like crazy things, and people were like, what the fuck is your problem? And I was like, I'm in my Reputation era. Like, there have been times where like Taylor Swift music has really made me feel seen. Like, I went through a gnarly friend breakup that like tore me up, and I would like cry to the song My Tears Ricochet. Like, she has had an impact on many a young woman, many a millennial woman. Okay. That said, she is someone who I personally need to separate the art from the artist. And I don't like that, okay? Like, I saw the Miss Americana documentary years ago and was like, I'm fucking in. I'm sold. I think Taylor Swift is a good person. Ooh. Now I'm feeling differently for a variety of reasons. One, she's a billionaire. I don't think there's such thing as an ethical billionaire. Two, when she released The Life of a Showgirl in theaters for a weekend, and it was just a series of YouTube videos and created hysteria, like, get to the movie theater this weekend to see a very special secret surprise. I was like, that is crazy. And you're going to charge like $30 for a ticket to a fucking movie, and maybe that's on the movie theaters too, whatever. It was a grift, you guys. Like, that was something that could have streamed at home, or even like join me on Disney Plus for a watch party. Like, there was no reason people needed to be going to AMC, okay? Also, the way that she like comes out with like 50 versions of her vinyls and all this merch and everything's exclusive, and oh, there's an extra track. And I think about like the parents of young kids who are obsessed with Taylor Swift and feel this like this like crushing anxiety to keep up. Like it's like you feel like you're a bad parent if you couldn't take your kid to the Eras tour, or you can't get them every single exclusive piece of Taylor Swift merch, or you can't get them like every single version of the same fucking CD over and over and over. Like it's just too much. And I think like, yes, her fans are out of control, but to some degree, I think she kind of creates this like mass hysteria for all things Taylor. And I just feel for those parents like who feel the financial weight of like trying to keep up with like the Taylor Swift fandom. Like it's a lot. And I thought her wedding was a reflection of all this. I thought it was a fucking clown show, you guys. And I understand that everyone was like, she needs security. Like she can't do anything. Like she is one of the most famous people in the world, if not the most famous person in the world right now. I understand wanting to feel safe on your wedding day. I understand wanting privacy. I totally get that. She's a billionaire. She could turn anything into a secret enclave, okay? And bring it back to Carolyn Bessette Kennedy and JFK Jr., if you want to be low-key, you'll fucking figure it out. They went to like an obscure island, and obviously that was the 90s. This is now. I understand things are different with cell phones, okay? I do understand that. I understand that. Don't come at me. I'm scared to even be talking about this, to be honest. But like she could have created any like a safe space wherever she wanted because she has the resources to bulk up security in the way that she needs to feel safe and like covered and enclosed on her wedding day. It was the fact that it was at MSG and that like over 4th of July weekend disturbed all this traffic already. To my knowledge, I don't live in New York, and frankly I don't ever really want to. No offense, it's just not for me. It's too overstimulating. To my knowledge, have heard that New York City over the 4th of July weekend is a shit show because everyone's trying to like get out of town and go to the airport or the Hamptons, wherever the fuck people go. And so this already disrupted the flow, whatever iteration of flow there was that weekend in the city. Also, the guest list was 1,000 people. And to me, that's just, it just all felt so showy and tacky. Oh, another issue I have with her is that like the Trump administration has used her songs and like her likeness in like merch and on social media. And it's like, one thing about Taylor Swift, she's going to sue. Like she sued Olivia Rodrigo for a song that didn't even sound remotely like hers. She's come for my friend Kyle, who runs Totally Good Time, like for putting like a phrase on a t-shirt years ago. Her team is called the Task Force because that's her initials. They'll like send you a cease and desist, no problem, or sue you. So it's like the fact that she hasn't put her foot down with Trump using her likeness and her songs, it says something to me, and it makes me deeply uncomfortable and disappointed because she did a whole fucking documentary about how she understood her impact and why it was important for her to be politically engaged. So, sorry. The fact that her guest list was 1,000 people, it was literally like, it felt so starfuckery for like how famous she is. It's like, are you famous? You're invited. Like Hugh Grant was invited. It was like so random. Like I'm sorry to come for Hugh Grant. Like, sure, Hugh Grant can come, but it literally was like, it was like anyone who's ever been famous for 5 minutes in their life was invited. And I just thought it was tacky. And she said like, she said in an interview like years ago, like, I don't, want to deal with the rigmarole of like whittling down a guest list. Like, I'm not going to do that. Like, I'm going to invite fucking everyone. And like, she has the means to do it. But to me, it's just like, it's just so showy and like, in the words of Ramona, déclassé. Now, the other thing too, there's an argument to be made for what did we expect? Because when has Taylor really ever been the epitome of beauty, class, and elegance lies beneath the soul? Money, power, and romance is waiting for us all, Countess Luann. When has she ever really been the epitome of those things? I mean, like, her style is horrible. Her bangs look like a piece of bread stapled to her forehead. She's a gorgeous woman, by the way. But, like, the red lip, fucking enough with the red lip. But, again, in the words of Countess Luann, money can't buy you class. And I do feel like that was this whole wedding. Like, okay, let's get into the nitty gritty. The wedding permit in the state of New York cost $160,000, chump change to them. The couple completely transformed Madison Square Garden by draping the stadium seating and designing in a garden-like atmosphere. They did not have traditional bridal parties, which is fine. I don't believe in those either. Taylor's brother, Austin, served as man of honor, and Travis's brother, Jason, was the best man. The ceremony was officiated by actor and close friend Adam Sandler. Adam Sandler? Like, come on. And, like, listen, again, I have nothing against Adam Sandler. He is often my style inspo, okay? For when I don't feel like being a person. And I'm sure he's a very nice man. I was about to do my Adam Sandler impression, like, and I now pronounce you Taylor Swift. And that sounds like Jessica Tandy. I'm like, did Adam Sandler do a shtick? Did he do a bit? Probably not. He seems like a relatively low-key man, but why Adam Sandler? I have questions. This other part bothered me. Swift and Kelsey reportedly read personal vows that they had written in golden books. According to attendees, the couple spoke for about 20 minutes each. That's 40 minutes of vows. Enough. And this is just me, and weddings are personal and whatever. I don't give a fuck how famous you are. I don't want to hear someone speak for 20 minutes at their wedding. My personal belief, I don't really want a ceremony that's like more than an hour max. Okay? And maybe it was an hour. Maybe, and that's like, in my mind, it's like I have Catholic friends. Like I've gone to weddings that are like an hour. My wedding ceremony was maybe 20 minutes. It was like our officiant did a reading. My sister did a reading. My brother-in-law did a reading. We did our vows. Everyone got champagne before because we wanted to communicate this party is getting started before this is even getting started. And we were fucking done and on to cocktail hour. That's just me. But God. Okay. Taylor allegedly talked about how Travis was the guy in high school who, even though he was the star athlete, would go sit with the less popular kids who were being bullied at lunchtime. And Taylor talked about how she wished she knew someone like that when she was in high school. It was so special. That's what an insider said. Taylor Swift's relationship to high school is like my relationship to college, and I would argue that she and I both need to move on. I would. It's like, I get it. I understand seeing things through that lens, but I am kind of like, enough. And again, I'm speaking to myself when I say that. Like, Hannah, enough about ISU. No one cares. You shouldn't care. You have a way cooler life now than you did then. Better friends, better life. You're cuter now than you were then. Taylor, it's time to move on. It's time to move on. Okay. Guests received embroidered handkerchiefs with the logo that said, "So it's going to be forever, ... which is a choice, right? Because the next lyric is, or it's going to go down in flames, right? Like, Taylor Swift has written many beautiful romantic lyrics. And again, Daylight, gorgeous song. I've cried to it before. And I guess the reason they picked that lyric was because that song is Travis's favorite. But like, I don't know. Like, Taylor Swift is like the queen of like being thoughtful and Easter eggs and little things and nothing is by accident. I was just like, okay, that was a choice. Also, the logo on everything was not my fave. And I want to shout out Peyton and Hunter from the podcast Let Me Say This, where they said it looked like the logo for a hookah lounge. And that is 100% accurate. It did look like the logo for a hookah lounge, where I was just like, you have access to the best graphic designers in the world. Things could be so tasteful. Why was that the logo? Swift wore a custom Christian Dior haute couture gown designed in close collaboration with Jonathan Anderson, paired with custom Christian Louboutin shoes and Cartier jewelry. That makes sense. Kelsey also donned a custom white tuxedo by the same designer. Just me, I don't like a white tuxedo. Tacky. The 1,000-person guest list included close friends. It's giving Ramona Singer and her 50 close girlfriends for her birthday party. Included close friends, A-list celebrities, and sports figures. Notable attendees included Selena Gomez, Gigi Hadid, Bradley Cooper, Hugh Grant, and Jack Antonoff, as well as Carly Kloss. Carly Kloss? Inviting your ex-best friend / situationship to your wedding is wild. And I don't know if she did it because she knew people would notice if she didn't, but Diana Agron, who was also allegedly a situationship and friend of Taylor's, did not get invited. I think she went to like a concert that weekend. But Carly Kloss came. Weird. Drama. I personally just like, me personally, and this is me personally, I didn't want anyone that I had previously slept with at my wedding, but that's just me personally, and maybe I need to grow up and stop being so fucking pearl clutchy and prude. But like, me personally, I don't think I would have done it, especially because of how like publicly everyone was like, are they best friends? Are they lovers? Maybe they're both. What's going on? Was the song, what's that song? Not Maroon. Have you heard in a crowded room? What did you do? What was that song? Question. Allegedly, a lot of Midnights was about her and Carly Kloss. So I was just like, whoa, wild. And then I had this thought. I used to have this thought when, you remember when they used to come out with those movies like Valentine's Day or like New Year's Eve where he's just not that into you, where it's like celebrity, 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 celebrity. And it was just like a celebrity fuck fest. And I remember being in high school in the suburbs of Chicago being like, well, it seems like everyone was in this movie, so why wasn't I invited? Like, why wasn't I called, even though I'm not a celebrity? That's how I feel about Taylor Swift's wedding, where it's like, well, damn, like, I mean, I know I've been ragging on it for like 10 minutes, but it seems like everyone else was invited. Why wasn't I invited? Seems like everyone should have been invited. My dog Monty, if you're watching on YouTube, is sleeping on my bed in the background. He should have been invited. Monty's a great time. We all should have been invited. And then I'm like, why would I want to be invited? I don't even want to be invited. It's whatever. It's whatever. It's like in high school and I wouldn't get invited to a party and I'd be like, it's fine. Like, whatever. I don't want to be popular anyway. Like, I'll just go play Guitar Hero, whatever, at my friend Anna's house. Like, it's not a big deal. Okay. Her best friend had the same dress on as someone else, which, like, kind of sucks, but what can you do? I appreciate that her best friend is a normie. Like, it would be really wild to be best friends with Taylor Swift from childhood. It would be kind of wild, right? I don't know. The reception, this is all pulled from different websites, by the way. The reception, which went into the early hours of the morning, featured elevated high-low catering like caviar top chicken nuggets. Legendary musicians Stevie Nicks and Paul McCartney performed. Paul McCartney allegedly performed I Want to Hold Your Hand. And the evening concluded with, wait for it, a luxury raffle with prizes like Cartier watches and a 1970 Chevrolet Chevelle. You guys, that is so tacky. Why are you doing a raffle for a bunch of celebrities, for a bunch of famous people? And you know what else? You know what else? You know what else? Weeks before, like maybe a week before, it was revealed that they had just donated $26 million to a variety of charities, which is lovely. Lovely. I'm so happy that those charities are getting money. I'm happy they did it. I don't want them to take it back. I do think the timing is a bit sinister. And maybe it sounds like I'm being one of those people that think, and just like shitting on them for sport. But this is genuinely how I feel. I think the timing is a bit weird because it's like, it feels like it's you might get mad at us for how insane our wedding is. But look, we're going to donate all this right before our wedding so that you can't get mad. So like when we have a bajillion-dollar wedding, you can point to this and be like, but they're good people. They're good rich people, right? The timing feels a little weird. And I get it, like, when's a good time? I just wish they didn't do it, like, so close to the wedding, because it also would have been weird if they did it, like, right after. It would have been weird to be like, but look, don't be mad at us for the wedding. We just donated. It would have felt, like, even more performative. But the timing felt a little bizarre to me. And also the raffle of it all. Like, what do a bunch of celebrities need with a car and a Cartier watch? Like, it's ridiculous. It's giving Hunger Games, like, Effie Trinket. The event was reportedly catered by one of Swift's favorite New York City restaurants, Zero Bond. People's source, this is from People, shared more details saying guests were served Italian cuisine, sushi, and pastéis, and that there were bars everywhere. Also, allegedly, there was a Parmesan wheel, which I am jealous of because who among us doesn't love a Parmesan wheel? Then, afterwards, on the MSG Jumbotron, it said, just NT married. And I don't know if they had anything to do with that or if that was just like Madison Square Garden being like, watch this, like, look what we're going to do. But I stared at it for a solid 25 minutes being like, wait, what? Like, because my mind went to like the AT&T logo, like just NT married. And I get it because like the T in just stands for Travis or Taylor, and T, just Travis and Taylor married. But it was clunky for me. It was clunky for me word-wise. I was like, we're doing too much there. And then the Empire State Building lit up blue to like, cause it's like something blue to like honor their nuptials. And a little more about the interior. Dozens of vendors and staffers were seen heading in and out of MSG in the days leading up to the wedding as they worked around the clock to prep the venue. The insider says the arena stadium seating was draped with white chair covers. We've gone over this. And ferns and greens were brought to create a forest feel. Revamping the garden into a garden was likely no small feat, says celebrity event designer Edward Perotti, calling the transformation a, quote, Herculean effort. Perotti, who has created events for stars like Ariana Grande and Nick Jonas, estimates the cost of renting the venue at $1 million per day and puts the total wedding price tag somewhere in the ballpark of $35 million to $50 million. Also, allegedly, they played carnival games. Okay. I don't like a game at a party. And listen, again, like, you don't have to play a game at a party. But, like, why are we playing, like, I don't know, like, that, like, skee ball? Why are we playing skee ball at a wedding? Like, it's too much neck, Taquita. It's too much. That's a reference to Making the Band 3. If you know, you know. Then there were some rules in place. According to Entertainment Tonight, guests received save the dates in March from an unknown number. Guys, this is ridiculous. This is tacky as shit. They received save the dates in March from an unknown number, followed by cryptic clues over the following weeks. They were first told only East Coast, then Manhattan, before eventually getting a text that the event would be black tie. At 4 a.m. on the morning of the wedding, guests reportedly received a QR code with the exact driving route, with a source claiming that if you deviated from the route, the car wouldn't be recognized. This is like Saw. This is like Jigsaw being like, and if you don't take the route, no one's going to recognize your car. You can't get into the wedding. It's like, welcome to the wedding. Black tie, Manhattan. It's like, enough. Am I invited to your fucking wedding or not? Like, stop putting me through the mental gymnastics of like, okay, this is a random number. What is this? Huh? Like, grow up, okay? Once inside, guests allegedly had their phones confiscated before finding embroidered handkerchiefs that were ugly. Sorry, I just added that on their seats before bearing the couple's initials, wedding location, and the lyrics, "So It's Gonna Be Forever," from Taylor's song Blank Space. The report also confirmed the musical performances and the raffle, while adding that Kesha, Fergie, and Ciara all did karaoke during the reception, with Taylor allegedly joining Ciara for a performance of 1-2 Step. Is there anything cringier than imagining Taylor being like, "Let me see your 1-2 step. I love it when you 1-2 step." It's like with all the limbs. We're about to get this beat is. I'm like, and it's her wedding. Let her sing karaoke. Let her do what she wants. I'm being a hater. I know. But here's the thing. Before you all come from being like, maybe I'm being so mean to Taylor. This is a pop culture podcast. Like pop culture meets lifestyle, okay? I feel like I just sounded like Sheree being like, it's more lifestyle. September, spring, summer, joggers. But it's pop culture meets lifestyle, okay? And this is a big pop culture event. And I would be boring if I didn't give notes on it, if I didn't give my honest opinion. And before anyone comes for me, just take a beat and remember what Howard Stern has gotten away with for the last fucking 50 years and all the fucked up things he's done. So please give me this kindness and allow me to criticize a wedding. I'm not hurting anyone. I'm not saying that. I'm not commenting on anything. I commented on Taylor's styling, but she's a beautiful woman. I'm just saying this is a tacky event. It is. Security is important. Safety is important. Tackiness, if it falls into like tacky as far as camp goes, like if it's campy, I love that. Like if it's funny and it's campy, that kind of tacky, I love. Like in Spice World, when the guys turn around and they're like asses, they're in like assless suits and they're like, come on, come on. I love that. That's like the type of camp I crave. But other than that, like this type of tacky, I just have no patience for. The same way I have like no patience for Kyle Richards being horribly dressed. It's like, bitch, you are so rich. Why? Get a stylist. Like, for the love of Pete. Taylor was on stage all night, a source said, adding that Travis also sang and partied. So that's it. Those are my thoughts. Not my favorite celebrity wedding to date. And listen, is every celebrity, this is actually an important conversation we should have. Is every celebrity obligated to do this like quiet luxury, I'm so demure thing? Absolutely not. Like at the end of the day, you like what you like. My wedding, while it photographed beautifully and was supposed to aesthetically look like an Italian dinner party, the reception had like no slow songs and the soundtrack was like that of a millennial house party. And people might have hated that. My own dad hated that. He was like, "Gee, Hannah, thanks for all the slow songs." And I was like, "Don't know what to tell you." So everyone is allowed to do what they want at their weddings and no one's obligated to be like classy and elegant and understated, like truly. But I think what grinds my gears with Taylor is all the things I mentioned, and also just like that she's so stunning and that everything she does is so tacky. Like it does bother me because I love tasteful rich people. And that does not mean, by the way, quiet luxury. It doesn't. Like Carrie Bradshaw is one of my fashion idols. I love like a whimsical rich person. I dream of being a whimsical rich person. Like that is my raison d'etre. That's my mission in this life, okay? To be a fun, generous, whimsical rich lady with like big kooky glasses and like long gray hair. But I don't know. She just grinds my gears. Okay, that's the end of that. Let's get into Hannah's Hot Girl Corner. So I meant to mention this last week, but I forgot. This is something I'm working on with Dr. Doctor. Okay. My Hannah's Hot Girl Corner for this week is saying no. And I'm talking about this with Dr. Doctor because I am a chronic people pleaser. And she was asking me, she's like, she was telling me, she was like, I wish you could see the vocal and physical shift in you when you get on something where you're like, I don't want to do this. I don't like it. It's a no. She's like, because I can see you physically and vocally shift from like being like nervous or like whatever emotional state you're in, you kind of like lock into this very strong-willed, like, absolutely not. I don't like this. This pisses me off. And like, she's trying to get me to sort of like get comfortable with that side of myself because to me, as a people pleaser and the way I grew up, like saying no feels inherently confrontational. And so it's very scary for me to say like, no, I can't do that. Or like, no, that doesn't work for me. Or no, I don't want to do that. Like that is, I have like a visceral reaction because my brain tells me that is going to lead to conflict. You are going to get into a fight. People are going to think you're mean. People are not going to like you. Like it feels very unsafe to say no. So she's trying to get me to be more comfortable with this side of myself that's like, no, that's not what I want to do. I know this. We don't need to circle the drain. I don't want to do it. So she's like, can we name that side of yourself? And I was like, it's Samantha Jones. Like I didn't skip a beat. I was like, it's Samantha. It's Samantha Jones, like for sure. Like I can picture her just being like, no, honey, absolutely not. And my therapist was like, okay, I love this. Let's run with this. Is Samantha Jones nice? And I was like, yeah. And she's like, is she a good friend? I was like, mm-hmm. She's like, is she loyal? I was like, yeah. She's like, does she have a hard time saying no? Does she care if people don't like when she says no? And I was like, no. So Hannah's Hot Girl Corner for this week is channeling our inner Samantha Jones and realizing that saying no is hot because it is hot to honor your boundaries. It's hot to honor what you will and will not tolerate. Now, I think an argument can be made for this word boundary, I think has gotten kind of bastardized over the last few years where it's like people take therapy speak and they like take it too far. I think like if your friend is having a birthday party and you're like, I feel ugly today. I don't want to leave my house. I'm going to make a boundary and not go to my friend's birthday party. That's not what I'm talking about, okay? I do think sometimes we have to push past like discomfort and show up for the people in our lives. But when there is something happening to you, be it with like a job or a friend or like anything where you're just like, I feel in my gut that that is a no, we need to channel Samantha and just remember that saying no does not make you mean, doesn't make you a bad friend, doesn't make you a bad person, and that it is hot to advocate for ourselves and that we feel more confident when we show up for ourselves. And we radiate confidence and sexy energy when we aren't hanging on to the resentment of saying yes to things that we know we don't want to do. So that's my Hannah's Hot Girl Corner for this week. And now let's get into grow up. Okay, I have two. First of all, Danny on the Valley. He's always been repellent, but like in last week's episode when he's like, it's my birthday, it's my birthday, it's my birthday. Listen, I'm a Leo, okay? I fucking love my birthday. I love birthdays in general. It's weirdo ass at a certain age to say it like a million times. It's my birthday. I'm also like, this is just me. I'm a Leo, but like, I don't do the whole, like, it's my birthday week. It's my birthday month. Like, I really just like it to be one day. Or if my birthday falls on like a shitty day of the week, it's like, I want to do that one celebration and then maybe like something fun with Jake on the actual day. But it's like, I don't want to do anything beyond that day. Like, I don't. I want to have that day, but like I don't also need to go around all day being like, it's my birthday, buy me a shot. It's my birthday, let's do it. You'll never catch me like posting my Venmo on social media being like, it's my birthday, get me a drink. Like I just think at a certain point it's too much. And Danny doing it, he was like on a boat being like, it's my birthday, I'm doing a backflip. I was like, whoa, okay. Like ugh. He's like BJ from Barney, that yellow dinosaur. It's like if BJ had an evil twin, that's Danny. I hate him. The other one is not being spatially aware in a workout class. I have been stuck next to someone, I'm going to be as vague as possible because I'm afraid, in a workout class recently who literally just like throws their weights everywhere, acts like I'm in the way. Like they're like every move they do, they just have no like regard for anyone else's space. And it bothers me so much. And I've been cursed like twice in the last couple weeks. being next to this person, it gives me so much anxiety because I'm like, I don't like feeling like I'm in the way. And I forced myself literally like recently to be like, I am not moving. I am allowed to take space in this workout class. I am allowed to I'm in my spot. I am in my allocated spot by this gym. And if this person doesn't like it, they can figure it out. But it was very hard and very annoying. So not being spatially aware during workout class, grow up. Ugh. We all have to share. Anyway, y'all, that's all for me today. Thank you so much for listening. By the way, some of you have been leaving some new reviews. You've been DMing me being like, oh my God, I just discovered the show. I love it. So thank you so much for listening. I hope after this week's episode with the Taylor of it all that you're still with me. And if you're mad at me, that's okay. But I hope you will stick with me because it's really exciting to have new listeners. So thank you for all your sweet comments on YouTube and your reviews. If you love this episode, share it on social, send it to a friend, leave the podcast a rating or review. And if you don't follow me already, follow me at Hannah Aaron Brown on all platforms. I'm on Instagram, TikTok, YouTube. You can watch full episodes on YouTube. I think that's all for me. I love y'all. Thank you so much for listening, and I'll see you soon. Bye.